see if I can. Like, it might be a bit pushing it because it's not. Yeah.
Can we take a screenshot and embed it?
No, look crap. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your attendance. My name is David Bredmore. I'm the Deputy Incident Controller based at the Seymour ICC, and I'll just be giving you a quick briefing on the current fire situation, the expected fire situation, and hopefully share some a couple of positive news items for you, particularly in relation to access into the fire. So, you know, I know you're all acutely aware of this, but the fire did start on Wednesday the 7th of January. It's currently at 138,277 hectares in size, and the perimeter of the fire is 331 kilometres. That's active edge of kilometre. And we have just over 650 personnel working out on the fire ground. And we have, you no doubt will have heard, particularly in this corner of the fire, this northeast corner, you probably heard quite a few aircraft working. We've got 5 aircraft working currently on the fire. I'm pleased to tell you that over the last 24 hours we have seen a reduction. It's not out. This fire is by no means out. It is a going fire, but we have certainly seen a reduction in the activity along the fire line in the last 24 hours. And we've, as I said, we've still got crews working 24/7. So there are night and day shifts out on the fire ground, and they're all working pretty hard. We have a little bit of unburnt ground, not a lot, but a little bit of unburnt ground, and we are seeing that starting to ignite, but it's inside of the burn area, so it's not causing us a particular risk, but that's what you're seeing, smoke. We are getting a few of those pockets. We're still taking 000 calls where fire is burning and there are some structures being threatened. Excuse me while I turn my watch off. That's very poor of me. And so this is very much still an active fire. We have not yet moved ourselves into recovery and relief mode. So that will start to progress over the next few weeks, but we have not yet been able to do that. And the reason that we haven't been able to do that is there's still active fire, but the other is we are finding it incredibly difficult to access this fire. There's probably somewhere between 800 and 1 million kilometres of road internally within this fire structure, and none of those roads are safe at the moment. We are working our way through making those safe, but it's very important to know that those roads are extremely dangerous, all of them at the moment. In fact, as late as 9 o'clock last night, we airlifted somebody from the Ruffy area who was hit by a falling tree. So it is extremely dangerous, and I know that people are wanting to get into properties, etc. And I know that that's probably causing a great deal of frustration. We are working as hard as we can to get those roads cleared, and I am been authorised by the Incident Controller to tell you that tomorrow morning we will publish a series of squares over the fire area that we will open up for residents to return to at their own choosing and at their own risk. But we do understand there is livestock, there's water issues, there's families, there's homes out there where people need to get into. So we are going to do so. It will be clearly documented, and the information teams will be distributing that information as first things tomorrow. So as I mentioned, he did ask me to specifically remind you that these roads are still very dangerous. You might drive down that road, get to your location, turn around and come back, and there'll be 2 or 3 trees down. The Ruffy Road has been cleared 3 times and there are still trees falling. So we don't want people just going into those areas, particularly in the next 24 hours, until we can get these maps out to you and declare the areas that you want to go to. I'm going to take questions at the end, if you don't mind. So we've got, I think the structure, damaged structure and unhabitable structure count has now exceeded 250 homes, and we're still finding more, and we have 51 townships that have been affected through the area. The roads, as I say, are in trouble. We have got a number of relief centres open. I'm not going to go through them for you specifically tonight, as we want to talk about the weather situation and the risk there is for your community. But if there are anybody here who has been impacted and does require assistance, relief centres, wants to know about accessing fuel, etc., can they please make themselves known to me at the end of tonight so that we can make some notes and get hold of that. There's also a community newsletter that we are going to make available for everyone to review. Just from a state perspective, so you understand what's going on and what's happening with resources, in the state of Victoria we still have 27 uncontained fires burning. And that count is now at 395,000 hectares in total. There are 3 emergency warnings and evacuations still in place in the Otways, and we have sent strike teams to Ravenswood this afternoon because of activities around there. Much of the state's covered in smoke. There is air quality issues, so those people, asthma, etc., need to be very conscious that that's occurring. There's nothing that I can do about that at the moment. The southwesterly winds that you are experiencing just now will be pushing smoke up from the Otways and covering most of the state. There are more than 70 aircraft still in the air around the state servicing those fires, and the state has 11 relief centres open. So it's a fairly dynamic and difficult environment to work in. The good news, and there is some, is that the weather that we were expecting to see over the weekend has, at this point, abated. It's slowing itself down. We are going to see a bit of northerly winds through this week, but the strong southwesterlies that had the potential to push our fire edge in the northeast of the fire towards your community has slowed, and we are confident that we will have good containment around those lines. So I'm talking about this section up here. So just up here, but we were expecting some fairly strong southwesterly winds. We're not going to get those. They are still there, but they're not quite got the strength that they did. It's important that you still review your fire action plans, and it's vitally important that you keep your good situational awareness about you, and that if you see flame, that you report that to 000 as quickly as possible. Because I'm not saying to you this fire is out, but I am saying to you that it's managed on this side, but the winds will be extremely unpredictable. There's a couple of maps up here that I'll invite you to come up and have a look at your leisure directly after here. Particularly the one that's up here shows the spread of this fire over the last few days. So you'll see the colour changes in it. The most pertinent of these is what happened on our catastrophic day. You can see this one here, the original fire, and then that's what happened. That's what happened on Friday and Saturday. So that's an indication of where we've gone. I don't think there's anything else specifically that I can add. I'm happy to take some questions after the other speakers have come and spoken, and I'll certainly be around for a few minutes after we have concluded. Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to. We have got some council representatives here, certainly Councillor Jeffries, Councillor Carpenter and Councillor Dougal's online, I understand, the mayors of the three shires, and they're going to be available here to answer questions after we've spoken. But I think it's important that we get some updates at the moment from some of the specialist suppliers and some of our utility companies. So I've got representatives from AusNet here, and I think Gary Hocking is here. I'm just going to speak to you about that. We're also going to talk to you from, we have some representatives from Agricultural Victoria. So Dr. Lee's here, she will be speaking to you as well. And we also have members from the other emergency services, so Ambulance Victoria here and the Victoria Police are here. So if there are questions that you need to ask her, and I know there are some representatives from the SES as well, so thanks team. But can I introduce?
Yeah, great. Thanks very much. My name is Amanda Robertson, so I head up risk at AusNet. I'm based in Melbourne, and I have come up today with the head of our distribution business, Andrew Linney, and we've been out in the field assessing the issues and the damage as much as possible. I'm joined here by Gary Hocking, who is our customer liaison person who's based in Seymour. As at the latest information that has come to hand, we have around about 2,700 customers that are impacted in the bushfire areas who have their power cut. That's distributed roughly 50-50 between the Walwa fire and the Longwood fire. Our objective is to return supply of energy as quickly and as safely as possible. So where we've been able to safely access sites and restore them, we've been able to do that. We have been deploying mobile generation in townships where possible, and also we have the larger customer base where they have been impacted by either their own property having been damaged or alternatively the lines being down. What we want to do is to assess the state of our assets, and then we will be rebuilding and actioning those re-energisations as soon as possible. In the same way that David explained, we are constrained by access. So we've had aerials up in the air, we've had helicopters up in the air doing aerials, but we are constrained even as to where we can have the helicopters flying to survey, because we have the bushfire activities that are underway. So we have only been able to inspect roughly sort of 20% of the area that's impacted by the Longwood fire. That only gives us the ability to look at a very high level of what the infrastructure looks like. So we can, for example, see that we've lost poles, that they've been burnt or fallen over, etc. So we then need to look at how we can be on the ground and undertaking patrols of the sites. And you've also heard from David that we're constrained because there are trees down, there are issues with trees falling down while we have the potential of vehicles being on the road. So we actually have crews that are raring to go, but we're having to curb their enthusiasm and say, we need to be given access by the emergency services. So even if we wanted to go in, we have to actually be given the green light to access the areas. Then when we are given the green light to access, we need to make sure that our people are safely engaging in those assessment activities. We also need to make sure that we are re-energising in a safe manner so that we're protecting members of the community. So whilst we are constrained in our access at the moment, we are nevertheless pivoting to recovery mode. So like David was saying, we are also managing upcoming weather events and looking at how we can prepare. We're also mindful that it's a very dynamic situation and we may potentially have to react to the unfolding weather events as they pan out in the coming days and perhaps into next week. But in parallel with that, we've already been working out where we will be locating our staging ground for these works, what sort of supplies we will need, looking at our spares and thinking about how we can mobilise those. And so there's a whole lot of work that's being undertaken in parallel with our teams to work out, once we get access, how we can re-energise and deal with the rebuild. But it will take weeks and if not a long time to be able to confidently re-establish supply. In some instances it will have to be temporary measures, but we are absolutely committed to doing this as quickly and as safely as possible. I'm going to hand over to Gary, who has some more granular information to share with you.
Thank you. In this fire area that we have here, we've got 3,300 poles that we have to inspect. So that's, some of them are concrete, some of them are timber, but we do have to inspect all of them because there's a lot of additional infrastructure that's attached to those poles. So we have to make sure that's not burnt and damaged as well. Then we have the conductors that run from pole to pole and around. There's 750 kilometres of conductor that we've got to go through. So that's lineal miles, if you like. So it's a big job to look at it. So it will take time. As we said, we've got our asset inspectors ready to go out and have a look. As soon as we're granted access, we can then start the restoration work. And for this area, we have to start at the start and work our way through to the end of the network. So there will be some areas that are delayed being restored where the others can get on a bit quicker, but that's just the way it's designed. Hope that sort of makes common sense. Sorry, I'm talking engineering, I don't mean to. So, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lee Manning. I'm a vet with Agriculture Victoria and this is my local district. We absolutely know the massive impacts on livestock, horses and pets that has occurred in this fire, and also the gigantic toll that takes on everyone, including people that know of people with animal issues. We're absolutely working with the Incident Control Centre to get access for our vet teams, and they are in some areas now, but we can only access areas where it is safe to do so. So our biggest risk is falling trees, and obviously the entire area is surrounded, like the road network with the lovely trees along the side of the road is our biggest risk. So we are also calling people to get information, so particularly areas where we can't access by road. So if people can please make sure that their contact details and the parcels of land that they have particularly animals on are updated for their property identification code. So you can do that on our website link, which I will give you in a minute. We do really need to know who needs help. So please contact us if you need help with assessing burnt animals or humane euthanasia. And also if you have fodder needs, please call into the Vic Emergency Hotline. So that's 1800 226 226. And for agricultural needs, dial 0 and then dial 3. You do need to be patient because it rolls through all the numbers, but for agriculture it's 0 and then 3. We also have a lot of information online on our website, so that's agriculture.vic.gov.au/bushfires. So on that site there is an online form that you can fill in for needs, but there's also the button to click to update your PIC details, and there's also a whole heap of information sheets about assessing burnt animals, but also there's some good guidelines in an information sheet about stock burial. So that's under the after the fires section. Now, I know many people have got questions about burial. So Victorian emergency management legislation now, it has changed in the past few years. It now states that burial is the responsibility of the landholder. So while all the agencies are not directly, no agency, including Agriculture Victoria, is directly responsible for burial of stock, we do understand the community need and the difficulties, particularly on some properties. So in the Incident Control Centre, the agencies are working together, but we do need to know, what the issues are. So call that 1800 226 226, dial 0 and then dial 3 to let us know what your needs are. So yeah, there is a lot of work. Please stay safe.
It's actually worth noting that Lee and I have been working quite closely together today, and we've just, not for this end of the fire at the moment, we're certainly at the southern end of the fire, and we will work towards it, is that we have escorted convoys going into fire-affected areas for essential services and for fodder and for cattle removal or cherry farm removals, etc. At the moment, yay to Alexander and yay to Yark at 8:30, 12:30 and 1:30, and then they're escorted out again an hour later. And so we'll probably look at doing that certainly on the Longwood Ruffy Road. So if there are anyone here from that area, we'll certainly try and look towards doing that. The other thing that's important to note, and I noticed that all the mayors, the councillors are here, they are reaching out to us daily wanting to activate their relief and recovery programs, and we are holding them back at the moment because we can't give them access. So CFA as the controlling agency is holding them back. Please don't direct any anger towards or any concerns towards the Shire because they really are trying to work hard on it. And I see that they've got Shire MLOs here as well. So we've met with the emergency liaison officers from all of the shires throughout the entire site. We are working together as a team, setting priorities, trying to get access to everybody. So I know that there are some concerns about access as a typical thing. There are things happening. As I've said, they're probably not happening fast enough for a lot of people, but we are conscious that we need to protect your safety and ours as well. So those roads are the areas that we are trying to work significantly towards. I'm just wondering, I think we're probably giving you enough information. I'm certainly going to stay around. I'm certainly happy to take some questions, but I think we should take this opportunity while we've got Ambulance Victoria and Police here. Is there anything that you would like to say to the community? I welcome you to the microphone.
G'day guys, sorry, my name's Stuart. I'm the local sergeant at Euroa. I've been here for probably 7 or 8 months, and I'm also what they call the MERC, which is the Municipal Emergency Response Coordinator. In instances like this, we run what we call an incident control centre, where we all are in there, so we're all talking at all times. From a police perspective, we're here for your safety and security. So what you'll see is with our roadblocks on those dangerous roads, We are the locals and we've been driving those roads since Wednesday, making sure we keep everyone updated to the conditions of the roads. Can we get in? Can we get out? Are they blocked? Why are they blocked? Fire tree? All of that sort of stuff. So if we tell you don't go in there, we understand that you've got a lot at stake, but if it's dangerous, we don't want anyone else getting injured. I've forgotten a couple of things I was going to say. We'll keep it at a fairly high level. In relation to insurance claims and things at this stage, what you'll have to do is, what we'll do is we take a fire report at this level. So you can either come to the local police station at Euroa. We are the police station for this fire affected area on the west side of it. We'll take a report under fire. We'll list that you've been affected by the fire, so your insurance companies will have a number to reference for when you lodge a claim. And I know the claims won't happen for a while, but you'll need that number. You can also call the police assistance line, which is I think 1800 444. You can do that whenever, it's 24 hours a day. It will be a little bit harder to get us because we're out doing what we need to do. Down the track, when you come in to list property damage and things like that, which your insurance company's want to know, and a lot of you have got firearms that you're going to have to record as destroyed, which could be an issue. We've got some forms developed at the station where we'll have to come in and list them, and I'll understand your records may be destroyed of what firearms you hold. We've got all that. We can do it in the background, but you'll have to come in and we'll go through it one at a time. There was something else I was going to say. The reassurance patrols, and this is where we come under the security. What we've done is, we're only so many of us locally. We've got tons of resources. You've seen a lot of the other cars getting around town. They're driving around. They're calling it reassurance patrols. But across the whole fire, we've had issues of people attending scenes where they're not welcome, people turning up to absent properties, seeing what's available. We're patrolling that. If you don't live in the area, you're told to move on. So on that, with the trees down, roads are blocked and GPSs are adjusting for that. So GPSs are sending people around places where they shouldn't be. We're talking to most people that are in the areas and moving them on if they're not supposed to be there. We know there's communication issues. Someone else may talk about those. We've had issues with the heat, the fires affecting the phone towers in the area and our communication towers. We're working flat out to keep those up and running. We're getting new amongst all of us, we're getting new generators in. We're getting fuel to those generators to try and get the comms back up. You might have seen it over the period. We've had dips and lifts where we've fixed things. Anything else you can think of, Lucas? Yeah. But just call us at the police station. If we're there, we'll answer the phone. If they're there, come in and have a chat. We're always there to give you support when you need it. Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon. My name's Nick Dean, Team Manager at Benalla, and I've got Claire, Team Manager from Mansfield here. I just wanted to reiterate the message of looking after yourselves during this time, okay? This will be quite a tumultuous time for many people. Obviously, there'll be a lot of vulnerable people within the community that are experiencing hardship at the moment, with quite complex needs. So for those people, we can only encourage them to ensure that they have management plans in place and that they're linking in with their medical teams as best as possible to allow appropriate management of their complex needs. It was obviously managed earlier on that air quality is going to be an issue for the next days, weeks, if not longer. So those people with asthma, airway disease, heart disease, obviously, you're going to be at an increased risk of complications, so make sure you're linking in with your medical teams early. If you do require medical assistance, please utilise services like Nurse on Call or the Victorian Virtual Emergency Department. Those links are all available online. Obviously, if it is a life-threatening emergency, then please use 000 and we'll obviously attend to you as soon as we possibly can. As many of you would have known, the Euroa ambulance station had been relocated in the early stages of this fire. They have now been relocated back into town. So Euroa is covered as per normal services. But again, we do try to reiterate, we try to utilise them for life-threatening situations. Is there anything else you want to come? Yeah. Going forth, obviously this may raise a lot of psychological issues for people over time. The best support that you'll have will be each other, okay? So reach out, lean on each other. If you need further services, then please reach out to medical teams or the emergency services.
I'm sure I can yell loud enough. I've just realised that remiss of me, but there were two other representatives, very important. So Goulburn Valley Water and NBN, just to give you an idea of where we are with services. So if you guys are able to do an update, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Daniel from Goulburn Valley Water, so General Manager of Service Delivery, so look after all the water and sewer within the region. So look at a high level and then I'll go into each area. All services are back up. There are some challenges with that though, and it is a little bit fragile, I will say, but we do have water running into all of our systems and we have sewer going away from all of our systems. If I go down southeast first, so if we look at the Mansfield area, all of our water supply systems there are up and running and are probably the most stable of any that we have at the moment. We have generators in place and they are all producing water that is absolutely safe to drink, and our sewer systems are holding up well down there as well. If I shift across, we go to Murrindindi. It is impacted. We have quite a lot of power outages within that area. We have a few comms issues with those treatment plants as well, but we have people on the ground and we have them all operating absolutely within spec and they're managing to keep up with the high demand that we're experiencing at the moment. So those water supply systems are back up and running and are fit for use, and the sewer systems as well down within that particular area. Around to Mitchell, pretty much all good there. We did have a few issues in Seymour last week. That was just due to power outages and really high water use. That has all returned to normal and we are not experiencing any issues within that system. We are a little bit low in our storages down in our Yea system. It is holding, but we are asking people if they can just try and conserve a little bit of water there. That'll allow that tank to recover, just so we've got some really good redundancy. Look, the main issue is up this way. Obviously within that Longwood area, we did see directly, our assets were directly impacted by fire. So the fire has gone through the Longwood water treatment plant and it has gone through the 9 Mile reservoir. That did cause us some problems, as I'm sure you're all aware. So on Friday, after that fire went through the water treatment plant, we lost the ability to produce water. So we were relying on our storages. They did run out, and I acknowledge that on the Friday afternoon. We did go in to try and get some more water in there. We have some significant leaks within the network as a result of the fire, and we were unable to maintain that supply. We got back in on Saturday morning and we've returned that supply, but because that fire went through and we've got some of those leaks, we weren't able and we still aren't able to get into some of those sites. So unfortunately I have had to put a boil water notice onto that town. So there is water. We are asking you to boil it. It is precautionary, but please do it. The last thing we want is for anyone to get sick from that. There is bottled water at the rec reserve and there is a big tanker there that you can go and fill up your bottles once you've used them. So please do that. Look, in terms of prognosis for Longwood, we've got a crew going in tomorrow to do full assessments. We can rebuild the water treatment plant. I'm concerned about the reservoir. It will obviously, as you all know, water supplies get impacted by fire. I just don't know what it looks like. So we're going to wait and hold off on what we do with that site until we see that. We will keep supply going though. We will do that through carting water to both the reserve road or Fire Tower Lane tanks, Tubbs Hill, and to the water treatment plant. So you will get water, and the boil water notice will come off once we can verify that all the system is secure, and we've done that sampling. So we're hopeful that we can take that boil water notice off by the end of the week. That's our goal, and we will try and get that done. Euroa, we're good. Storages have recovered, and so we've got a really good supply there at the moment. I know that a lot of this area that was impacted is not supplied by us as Goulburn Valley Water, so you'll be on tanks. We will work with councils and others to try and provide whatever support we can once you get back in, but we'll transition to that when we get into recovery, but we are here to help and we will help where we possibly can. So I think that's all I've got. If there are any questions, I'll hang around for a while. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cobb. I'm the Regional Manager for NBN across North East Victoria. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update on some of the services that we still have out in the region, mostly in Murrindindi, because of the power situation. So when the power goes out, unfortunately, our services go out as well after 4 to 8 hours of battery backup. We have been able to put some battery backup onto some of our assets, and thankfully none of those were burnt in the fire. So at the moment, as I said, most of those outages, and I'll just give you a quick listing, are in Alexandra, Yea, Buxton, Eildon, Rennies Hill, Taggart and Thornton South. So if you haven't got access to your internet now and you're not in one of those areas, please feel free to come and have a chat to me after this meeting, and I'll help you get back online if I can. Thank you.
I said take the opportunity to take questions. I know that you had one floating microphone floating around. There is all your emergency services personnel available if you want to direct any questions. So.
My name's Leanne Waters, but I don't know, do I need it?
It helps everybody else here.
Yeah, sorry. Leanne Waters, I live up the top of Cleans Hill Road and I've lost my house. But I want to get access mainly for my animals. Department of Agriculture have been fantastic, their staff on the phone to me, etc. And obviously they can't get in either yet. But I just want to know that when I can get access and how, and also a central point for everybody to find out how and when they can get access to what. I'm not interested in going to the CFA or going to the police or going to whatever. I need a central point to find out when I can get in and, yeah.
I'm very sorry about that. I'm very sorry that you've lost your house. The communication. Oh, sorry. Don't want me to use the microphone. We will publish the information about the available roads on the Vic Emergency app, I understand, and also we've got a newsletter that's constantly coming out. I'm going to have a look at your road with you directly after this meeting. But the best information that you're going to get is through social media, and our opportunities to get that out to you. It's a very fluid situation, so I will try. We are attempting to get the road open boxes out to you via social media in the morning.
I'm sure councils will get it up onto their websites ASAP as well.
Yeah, I was just wanting to say, can we have it not only on social media? Lots of people aren't on social media. Can we have it on council's websites, please?
Sure. Just tilt it down.
Okay. We are setting up an information hub, so you've got information you can come in and ask questions. I know not all of you have access online, so know that we're listening to you and hearing that you're wanting that. So we'll make sure they've got that information available to you and provide information about where that'll be, and more than likely here in Euroa or Longwood.
Hello, Olivia Bonazzi, Murrindindi Shire Council. I'm not sure how many from Murrindindi are here tonight, but I'd just like to acknowledge, just like you don't have access to social media, as we've heard, a lot of our residents don't have access to power or connectivity. So we are, and the Shire is divided into different portions because we cannot travel across. So we are doing our best to set up an information hub tomorrow. I haven't got clearance yet, I haven't got confirmation yet, but I have asked to have an information hub in Yea and one in Alexandra, at least we'll be able to support you in person. We have connectivity at those offices to provide you with access to all of the information that you need and to register your requirements. So thank you for your patience, and I acknowledge that a lot of our residents may be not even able to watch this live, but keep the questions and the requests coming. Use the 1-800-226-226 number. As soon as we get onto the recovery phase, a council will be the leading agency and will be very, very ready to support you. Thank you.
So, I just also, as I said earlier, there is a Shire representative, a emergency management liaison officer from each of the Shires and each of the utility services embedded in the Shepparton ICC, and they are getting regular briefings 2 to 3 times a day. So they are pushing that information back out to the Shires for this to be disseminated in those kiosks. Any other questions?
Hi, thanks. I have 2 separate questions, if that's all right. One's for AusNet. There was scheduled to be a planned outage tomorrow for the Strathbogie Tableland. I was just wondering, and the rumor is that it's been cancelled. I was wondering if you could confirm that that has been cancelled.
It's not going ahead.
Perfect. Thank you for that. My other question is, I don't know if there's a representative from Vic Transport here, but the Vic Traffic website still has Harry's Creek Road listed as closed due to fire. And I believe that was always a bit of a furphy, because I think that was closed due to the A double being stuck on it. So possibly, because that's an evacuation route, potentially, if the Vic Traffic website could be updated so that's removed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to Vic Traffic this afternoon when I get back to the ICC.
Is that better? That road was blocked to truck drivers trying to avoid traffic management points and taking routes that were not suitable for trucks to take. So we apologise for that. We tried to fix it, didn't work.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, just one more. I'm going to cut to the chase here. I'm out on Longwood Ruffy Road at Leneva Park, and yep. I've got a team of professional arborists, a team of road workers, and a full team of fully equipped machinery to go and clear these roads. And I'm talking on behalf of this community that I'm not going to sit there for another day while I have people who want to get to those properties to see their animals and assess the damage. So we say that we need help. I've offered this for 3 days, and to this day I still can't get an answer. I've done Vic Roads work my whole life for government, it's what I do, and I still can't help. So if we say there's no help, everyone in here, and hats off to all the emergency services, don't get me wrong, absolutely hats off to them. But this is, I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to cut to the chase. Let us help, because the help's there. Let us up the roads.
I'll grab his details.
Thank you for that. I would like to catch up with you directly after, and I can follow that through. There are protocols and procedures that we have to follow to ensure everybody's safety. So I'm happy to acknowledge and work to see if we can find a way of working with you, because when I was in Ruffy on Monday, I understand that's not right. I don't completely understand, but I saw the pain and I felt the pain. So I'll be catching up with you directly afterwards.
Hello, Wendy Greenwood, resident of Euroa. First of all, I would like to speak, hopefully on behalf of all of us, to say thank you for all the emergency responders and what they've done for us, especially with keeping Euroa safe. Secondly, I would like to know what the council is doing with regard to providing services for mental health, for business loss of income, and also for coordinating and distributing donations. But my main question today is the fact that on Thursday, I was told to be prepared to leave. So I went to charge my electric vehicle up, and 5 minutes later, the power went out. So I decided to go down to the service station. Closed. Why are the service stations unavailable to provide fuel and power so we can evacuate, which is what we're being told to do? Why don't they not have generators? That's my question.
It's an extremely good question and I can't answer it for you. It's not an instruction from us as a controlling agency to close down that, so we'll have to talk to the suppliers. But I have made a note of that and I'll be taking that back to the ICC with me this afternoon. In terms of council, would you like to address that?
Hello, I should have introduced myself before. I thought most of you might have known me. Rochelle Kutrocki, I'm the CEO of Strathbogie Shire. I'm actually going to speak on behalf of Murrindini, Mitchell and ourselves here in Strathbogie. There is a sheet here on your way in. Please grab one. It's got lots of information in there. A lot of the questions that you've actually asked today, particularly around funding that's available, mental health services, and also about livestock, which Department of Agriculture and all the emergency services of what they spoke about tonight. Those of you who do have access on the website, this will also be made available so you can access it, and there's a number of links in there that you can go through to as well. There's also numbers here that you can actually call so you can talk to somebody directly, because I know I've heard some feedback around that you just want to talk to someone. So make sure that you grab one of these on the way out, and they're just available just over here. The other thing I'll mention, we've got customer service officers out in the foyer to help you. We are here to help you. We're here to hear what some of your concerns are. Now, we can't always solve those issues. We need to refer that up to the ICC. It's still an emerging issue, but we're also want to make sure that we prioritise that for you and triage that properly. We were impacted as well. I've got staff who are displaced who've lost everything. So I just want to let you know the magnitude of what we're dealing with here. So we haven't got everyone that we should have in certain roles that you would expect. So that continuation of services for us at the moment is challenging. I've actually got other people coming in like Murrindindi as well. The two of us who have been impacted the most out of 18 councils across the state of Victoria have actually asked for help from the state government, and we're receiving that help. I've got 3 staff here today over to my right from Campaspe. So we are setting up a team of people to help. But we do have people in the foyer who can help you today. So if you do have some things and requests for things, please put them through, whether it's trees, roads, or other services that you want to know. We're here to listen and to make sure that we get back to you. In terms of the question about the service station, there is a project for generators that we have worked on, unfortunately, that didn't take place prior to this event. And I would say to you, like the floods, we've learnt lots from this, and we will make sure that our community is safe. And going forward, we will try and keep you updated and informed as much as possible. Murrindindi, Mitchell and ourselves have banded together as a united front. That's something really unusual that you don't often see in the sector, but we recognised our size. But I want to say to you, Strathbogie's small, but we are mighty, and we're going to make it back.
Well said. Okay, we'll take one more, and then I'll be staying around shortly for answering any other questions, just so we've got time. So just one more question up the back there, I think.
Hi, my name's Jackie.
It's important when we hear the Shire talking, etc. As I said before, we are holding Shires back a lot at the moment. This is still an active fire. It's not out. This is still an active fire. So we haven't moved into recovery. We're hoping to do that very soon, but we're still active.
G'day, my name's Jackie. Couple of things. Are these packs, like, are they able to be down the main street or something? I don't know who we need to talk to, but I think they're very, very useful. There is a lot of information in them. And I think that if they're down the main street, in cafes, in the doctor's surgery, wherever, I think that would be really, really useful. Secondly, I just want to follow up. Myself and a couple of other people in the community are being inundated with requests for donations of things. We have absolutely no idea what to do and where to send these people. So if I can talk to someone tonight to try and figure that out, so we can try and have somewhere, a place or a hall or someone coordinating that, I think, because there are so many people in the community that want to help and, you know, want to cook food, want to donate, you know, things. So if we could have somewhere, and I'm happy to be that person, but I just think we need something for that.
Okay, we're going to go back. I think that's an issue that you're going to have to take back to the shires, and they will coordinate that with you. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending. I'll be here. I'm happy to stay. I'll answer, sir. I will answer your question for you, but I won't. We'll do it offline if we can, because we're going to be here all night. And I'm sure that you've got things that you want to do, so I am happy to be here to answer a few more questions. And in relation, just as a passing note, as a volunteer CFA member myself, you know, your local brigade's done one hell of a job and they deserve a pat in the back. Thank you very much for your attendance.
The support they have given Ruffy is brilliant. I know I'm speaking for everyone at Ruffy. We really appreciate everything that every single one of you volunteers have done for us. We had no fire trucks there when my house burned down because our guys were fighting other fires, and we know that, and we have no problem with it shit, and it happened, but we are so appreciative of what everybody is doing for us. It is really heartwarming, and I really, really love to say that we people from Ruffy, we really do appreciate it. We will come back in Strathbogie Rocks because it's such a great place to live. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The emergency service personnel will be here to manage any other questions that you might have.